Hello everyone, in this tutorial we're going to explore the new enhanced UI with 3DXchange 6, and in the process I'm going to be importing in a free model from TurboSquid and giving you some hints and tips along the way. So 3DXchange 6 is currently in early access, which means you can purchase it now and get all the free updates later on. It's used for importing and exporting all the industry standard format files such as FBX, OBJ, SKP, and BVH in the case of animations into and outside of iClone. So you can use it in all your favorite CGI software. And we've also optimized the performance a lot. You can see more from this chart here. It's a lot speedier than it used to be. And we're going to be exploring the enhanced UI in this tutorial, which you can see in this section here. If you want some more information, I encourage you to visit the website right here in the URL. But for right now, we're going to go over to our friends at TurboSquid, and we're going to be searching for a free model. So if I search like that, just blank field right there, and I select sort to lower prices, we'll get all the free stuff right away. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and download this Attack Droid robot here. You can see it here in all of its shiny glory. So we're going to be downloading this and importing that via 3DXchange into iClone. So then you can just go to the right hand side and download, select your object, and then download further. But thankfully I've already downloaded this, so we don't have to wait for it to download. I'm just going to go to my download folder here. There it is. And we have this Attack Droid robot right here. I'm just going to right click that and unzip it. We'll extract it to a separate folder. Then we have this Attack Droid robot folder, and then we have a further zip file inside that contains all the materials. So I'm going to right click this and unzip this as well to a separate folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the MTL file that's in this material folder right here. I'm going to right click and copy that, and then I'm going to take it back and paste it into my root folder. And the reason I'm doing this, you'll see in just a moment, you may come across a situation where your OBJ file is referring to an MTL file. So what I'm going to do is just take this OBJ file, import it into 3DXchange, there we go, and you can see that nothing appears on the screen. And like I mentioned before, this is because the OBJ file is referring to that MTL file. If it's in the same root folder, it'll always look for this, and it's not finding any textures to apply. So what we need to do is we need to go to our Attack Droid back, this separate mesh group here, go all the way down to Materials, and then you can see that a little bit further down there, their opacity is at 0. We'll just take that opacity and pump it up to 100. So you may come across this situation. Just make sure that your opacity is at 100%. I'll do the same thing for the front. We'll increase that opacity all the way up to 100. So here we have our nice finished model. Just zoomed in a little bit too fast there. Speaking of the scene tree on the left hand side, you can actually show or hide the scene tree by clicking this button up here, or by using that I believe it's called the tilde button in the top left side of your keyboard there. Just toggle that on or off. It gives you a little bit more space to work with. And then we also have these shader modes on the top. You can see up here we have quick shader mode, we have iClone default mode, which includes all the iClone default lights, and we have some IBL modes as well, image-based lighting modes. And currently our pixel shader is on. We can turn that off. And this is basically your most resource-saving mode that you can use. So you're in quick shader mode right here. It's not going to worry about materials or anything like that. So you can see we have this object right here. If I go into pixel shading mode, we'll get a little bit more detail, but we don't want that. We can turn it off to get the most optimized performance. So what I want to do first here is we have this object selected. I'm going to select both of our mesh groups and go to the top here. And we want to kind of make it a little bit smoother. And the way we can do that is by using our normal auto smooth up here. We'll select Weld Vertex and then just select Auto Smooth. You'll be able to notice a little bit of a difference there. Everything will smooth out, look a lot nicer, and that's normally what you want to do, one of the first steps that you want to take. The next step you want to take is you want to turn on this dummy guy right here, or else press Control D as well. And this will be our regular character size. So you can see the Attack Droid is not so intimidating now that it's 10% of the size of an actual human character in iClone. So let's go ahead, select the object up here. Let's press the R hotkey to scale, and let's scale it all the way up and make him, large and intimidating like that. So that's we've scaled him up to the proper size now. The next step I want to do is press the F key, and that'll take you to the front of the object. So you can see currently the prop is not facing the front; it's not facing the camera. So what you can do, just to keep things consistent, is use the E hotkey to rotate this and rotate it over this way. You can see our value over here in the right changes. We'll just change that to 270 to make it at a perfect right angle right there. And you can see there we are. And this is the kind of size and the orientation that we want to keep it at. So once we've figured that out, we'll just press Reset Transform. and that'll reset everything, the scale and the rotation value, and so your prop will be consistent exactly like this when you import it into your iClone scene. Let's press Control D and take off that dummy now. Let's get into the different shader modes and the materials. So before I get into the different shader modes, I'm going to apply my diffuse materials. So I'm going to select the Attack Droid Back 01 mesh group right here, go down to my diffuse channel and double click that. We're going to open up our Droid Back Diffuse target file right here. And you can see that that will apply to the correct place right there. And in this mesh group right here, we can do the same thing. We'll apply that diffuse. It's called top diffuse instead of front. We don't have to worry about that. Just a little misnomer. And now we have all of our materials applied, the diffuse materials. So this is what your object's going to look like, in quick shader mode without pixel shader on. We can change this now. Let's go ahead and change to iClone default mode right here. Select that, and this is the kind of lighting that you're going to have in your default iClone scene. You can modify these lights by first pressing the / key. That'll be your light 01 on the top left there. You can change the lighting position to all sorts of dramatic angles if you'd like. And then you can choose other ones like, light 3, for example. Press the E hotkey, and you can move that one as well once you select that light. We'll just keep it the way it is for now. And I want to focus on the materials in my attack droid as well. And notice that when I select iClone default mode, it'll also put pixel shader mode on automatically as well. So let's go ahead and apply our normal maps now. So I'm going to select the bump map channel over here with my back group selected there. And let's go and select the back normal right here. Now make sure that when you select this, you import it as a normal map. So you need to select this option right here. Otherwise it'll import it as a gray map and you won't have the same effect. So make sure that you check that little box there, that's important. And go ahead and open that. Now you can see that we have some changes occurring on the section over here, the section down here especially. So what I can do, select that bump map and we can take off the strength. And you can see the effect that it has right there. We get a lot more detail, especially in this little pipe area here and the grill, whatever it's called down there. And then let's do the same thing for the front part as well. We'll do that and apply the bump map to here as well. And top normal right there. So you can see that when it applies, it looks quite nice. You can increase or decrease the strength here. And you can also use the / key for the lighting to get a more dramatic lighting angle. And then you can modify that normal map even further. There you go, you get that kind of effect. We'll do the one for the back here. You can see down there, that's the effect that it's having right there. So, when you change the lighting angles, you get more of an effect. Let's press the / key and bring it back up here again, just for now. And then let's go ahead and apply those specular maps as well. So this model also comes with specular maps. So let's select the Droid Back mesh group, open up our specular channel right here, and we have Droid Back Specular. So if I apply that, you won't notice much of a difference. And the reason for this, there's another little material snafu that you have to worry about on the bottom here. This one imports the specular map. The specular color is actually set to black. So when your specular color is set to black, you're not going to have much of an effect for your specular map. So what you want to do is change this to white. So select your specular color, change it all the way up to white, and then what you can do is modify your specular values, and you get all sorts of shiny effects like this. So always make sure that your ambient color is fairly dark, your specular color is fairly light. It really varies and depends on your different scenarios. You can modify the glossiness as well to complement that. Maybe something like this would be kind of cool. And then let's do the same thing for the front. So I'll select the front, double click on my specular, load in that specular map right here, or the top rather, so that'll be this area up here. And then what I can do, I can modify the specular value, and you can see that nothing will change because we definitely need to change that specular color to white. So let's do that. Change it up to white right there. Press OK, and then when we modify the specular values, there we go. We get some nice, cool specular effects, and you can really optimize the look of your prop imported by following all these steps right here. So there's our imported prop. And then we also have those other lighting modes that I mentioned before. So currently we're just in the iClone default mode, and we can use that lighting to get that gleam, that specular gleam off of our prop right there. It looks pretty cool. We can also use the IBL lighting. So this one's in a sunny day. If it was a sunny day, we could have our prop looking like this. Or this one, I like this one here, the Hall mode. If you select the Hall mode, let's just press Control G to turn off that grid there. and you get like this sort of, lighting effect, like if you're in a university hall or something like that. And looks pretty cool, I think. And also you can, change the direction of the light here as well, or your main light as well. So you get something like that would be pretty cool. All right, so that's about all the messing around we need to do in 3DXchange. So the way we can do is we can export this into iClone by going up to the top left, or also pressing Control E. Export that into iClone. We'll just export it to the default folder, destination default, which will be your prop custom folder. We can call this, fearsome droid. Let's give him a little bit of a cooler name. Fearsome droid. We can set a texture size to 1024 or 2048, doesn't really matter. And then go ahead and press OK. And that'll export it to iClone. And then we can go over to iClone and go to our prop folder, custom tab, and props. And we have a fearsome, ABCDEF, fearsome droid right there. You can see it looks pretty fearsome in that picture right there. Just double click that and add it in. And here's our fearsome droid. So in all its specular glory, you can see that if you use the / key here, we get that nice specular look as well. So that's pretty much it for the enhanced UI tutorial for 3DXchange 6. Just wanted to give you a couple tips along the way for in terms of materials, your shader modes, and also you can now show and hide the scene tree on the left-hand side, which is pretty convenient for space-wise. So thanks for watching again, guys, and stay tuned for our other 3DXchange 6 tutorials.